Tēnā koutou katoa, nā mahani mai, me Barry Milne toku ingoa. He manataki ki Compass Research Centre, he waipapa tamata rao. Hello everyone, welcome to the Compass Colloquium. I'm Barry Milne, I'm the Director of the Compass Research Centre. This is you can see from the slide, this is the 17th time we've done this. So thank you very much to Stats New Zealand for hosting us each and every one of those times. Okay, so this is what we're going to talk about this morning. So the purpose of these colloquia is to showcase the work that Compass does, which is often used, invariably uses a lot of Stats New Zealand data. So prior to the integrated data infrastructure, and all but the final talk today will be talking about data analyses that have been done using the integrated data infrastructure. The final presentation will be talking about analysis that will be done. But even prior to that, we were using census data and other data from Stats New Zealand for a lot of the work that we do. We're a quantitative social science research centre looking at, widely speaking, kind of predictors and correlates of health and well-being across the life course. And you're going to hear about various aspects of that today. There's a Pacific theme to the morning session. We've had 3 of our Compass staff or affiliates come back from the Pacific Medical Association conference and presenting these things. Unfortunately, Lisa Underwood cannot be here today, who was going to give the first presentation because she'd love to be here, but she's lost her voice. So you'll be able to hear what she has to say about that anyway. So I'm going to do my best to give the first presentation about illness and disability, or the impact of long-term health conditions on Pacific people. Then we're going to pass over to Offa and Zanetta, who are going to talk about building blocks for a socially engaged and co-creative approach to moving the brain health. Apologies. Then I'll talk about some work that we've been doing in partnership with the Ministry for Pacific Peoples about mental health and the Pacific population of New Zealand using New Zealand Health Survey data. There's a mental health theme about this as well today, actually. And then Arazu will talk about her work that she's done over a number of years now and with a number of different colleagues on the refugee population in New Zealand, and this talk on mental health of refugees. And then we'll have a lunch break. Back from lunch, we'll hear from Steph D'Souza, who's going to be talking about the Kumanu Tangata project, which is making use of the fact that the data about high-level rugby players has been integrated with integrated data infrastructure, so you can look at long-term health and other outcomes for people who played high-level rugby. And then, as I alluded to before, we'll pass over to Natalia, who will talk about a project that she's just getting underway to classify complex illnesses in the IDI, focusing first up on multiple sclerosis. Okay, so just a bit about Compass. As I said, we're a social science research team. I'm the director and have been for the past 5 or 6 years. I took over from Peter Davis, who set the centre up. Prior to that, it was called something like the Social Science Research Centre. But then as academics, we had to come up with a slightly cheesy acronym. So we called ourselves Compass, Centre of Methods and Policy Application in Social Sciences. Senior Research Fellows, Lisa, who was going to present today, and Offa, who will present. Offa now is part of the Tongan Health Society. Research Fellows, Comey, who does work on surveys, she's not here today. Charles, who's one of our lead analysts. Natalia, who's talking today, is a postdoctoral fellow. Martin, who's on the Zoom, is a data analyst, along with Eileen. I don't know if Eileen's on the Zoom. Eileen's also doing her PhD, looking at linkage bias in integrated data infrastructure data. Fran, working on the rugby project. Zanetta, working on the brain health project. And Arazu, who's an associate of Compass, is going to be talking about the refugee research that she's been working on. Okay, so we work on a lot of different things. From a university point of view, we rely a lot on what's called soft money. So we get awarded contracts to do things, and our team expands and contracts as we get more and more or less money to do things. So I'm just listing some of the things that are sort of ongoing at the moment. That first one is the project that Tara's going to talk about. The second one, which doesn't involve IDI data, but involves data linkage to some of the data sets that are provided to the IDI, such as health data and justice data and education data, is working with Jane Harding on a series of perinatal interventions that she's been part of that they want to do long-term follow-up of. For many years now, we've been working on the Better Start National Science Challenge. Steph and myself work on that project as part of the big data theme, and it's that theme that worked with Ministry of Pacific Peoples on the mental health in the Pacific population of New Zealand. We're working now on a bit of research to understand what data sources are out there with MSD funding this research that are related to elder abuse, looking to see if the data sources that exist in New Zealand at the moment could be used to get a good sense of prevalence of elder abuse and other aspects of elder abuse in New Zealand, or abuse of older people. We've got a small grant to look at whether or not the wide-ranging data that exists in the IDI can be used to predict suicide and self-harm, and whether there are any issues with that in terms of uneven prediction and not predicting some groups as well as others. We've also got another smaller project looking at associations between infections, dementia. We've previously written papers looking at the impact of mental health on various things, including dementia, and that's sort of following on from that work. Health impacts of playing rugby I mentioned. Life course impact of chronic health conditions. That's what's funding the research I'm about to talk about on long-term health conditions in the Pacific population, and also funded offers work in that area as well. The next one after that is kind of interesting. We're looking at the extent to which service use clusters in various sectors of the population and what other consequences those people have. And that's a comparative project with Denmark. So using New Zealand's whole population data as well as Denmark's whole population data, funded by an organisation in Denmark called the Rockwell Foundation. Informatics for Social Service and Wellbeing Data New Zealand, that's an MBIE funded project. Robin Blythe, who's here, he's working on that project as well. We're creating helping the community really, helping the research community, creating various widgets that can be used to help analyse, so in an informatic sense, analyse whole population data. And earlier this year, we completed a survey on disability in the Māori community called Te Ao Marama. That's funded by HRC, working with Bernadette Jones and Tristan Ingham here at the University of Otago, and starting to write up a few things from that now. So as you can see, lots of different things, but I think I got it right when I said it's all in the area of kind of health and wellbeing across the life course. It's kind of what we do. I mentioned surveys before. We also we're the New Zealand reps of the International Social Survey Program, and that's a program that runs a survey every year, with the topic changing every year to a different social survey, social science topic, I should say, and run across 45, give or take, countries around the world. So we're just in the field now with the National Identity and Citizenship Survey, and next year there's going to be a survey on digital societies. We are about to go into the field with the New Zealand Election Survey. That's something that we have helped run over the past 5 elections. So the deal there is on election day, a survey goes out to a random selection of the population, asks them about their voting behaviour and their political beliefs and that sort of thing. So Martin, who's on the Zoom, is shaping up that at the moment. We've run various surveys. We're about to run a couple of surveys, actually. One, a whenua census of Te Rarawa, iwi in Te Tautakarau, and another survey that I haven't mentioned there on Māori creatives, that we're just in discussion about how we're going to do that at the moment. I mentioned the Te Ao Marama survey. We also run a Papakainga survey, a survey on housing in Ngāti Hawa, iwi. So there's several there where we're starting to work with community groups on the things that we do. Oh, yes. If you haven't got one already, there's a program at the back by Catherine. If you have got one, flip it over, and on the back side of that lists the various courses that we run. We run twice a year, and upcoming courses in Wellington here in November, held at Massey University. So, and this preceded me as well as a lot of things that Compass did. So This is part of the New Zealand Social Statistics Network. That's what we kind of branded as, and we run courses on social science methodology, many quantitative, but some qualitative. And we run those every year insofar as there is interest. So if you are interested in any of these courses, you can go to that website, www.nzscn.org.nz. You'll see a list of the courses that we run. They're listed there. In relevance to Stats New Zealand, there's a course we run on the integrated data infrastructure, and also a course on SQL, which, as data lab users will know, you need when you're using certainly integrated data infrastructure and maybe other data lab products. But yeah, so check that out as well. But that's kind of a whirlwind tour of what Compass is and what it does.